From the Christian Erudition headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Christian Erudition's Newsroom with Peter Niles.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Newsroom. I'm your host, Peter Niles. Our top story tonight takes us to Mumbai, India, where there is a report of a local girl encountering God. We now take you live to Mumbai to our Southern Asia correspondent Kushal Gurval. Kushal, I understand that you are there with the young lady who claims to have experienced God.
Yes, that is right, Peter. I am here with Kavya, a native of Mumbai who has been quite outspoken about her experience.
Hello Kavya. Thanks for being with us here on Newsroom. Would you mind sharing with our audience what you experienced?
Hello Peter Niles, I would be happy to. So as Kushal mentioned, I had lived my whole life in Mumbai. When I was a little girl, I worked hard and earned a scholarship to study in the United States at New York University, where I studied finance and economics. After graduation, I landed a coveted job at a top investment bank in New York City. I was quickly promoted and given a six-figure salary, living a life of luxury in a fancy apartment and traveling the world on lavish vacations. But my success was short-lived. I became caught up in the pursuit of money, working long hours and making risky investments. I began to lose touch with what really mattered in life and was becoming more and more isolated from my family, my friends, myself and God. One day, everything came crashing down. A major investment deal that I had pushed through went sour, costing my company millions of dollars. I was fired and faced legal repercussions. My reputation was ruined and I was forced to return to Mumbai, broken-hearted and alone. Back in Mumbai, I struggled to come to terms with my new life. I was no longer the confident, successful woman I had been in New York. I felt like a failure. I was unable to find a job and struggled to make ends meet. I didn't even know who I was anymore. And I felt ashamed of who I had become. One night, after another day of feeling like all was hopeless, I decided that I just take enough pills to end it all. As I sat on my bed and contemplated, I saw a Bible sitting in my suitcase a friend from my time at the university had given me. I decided that I had nothing else to lose, so I opened it up to 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 9 and read, "For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that you through his poverty might become rich." I cannot explain it, but at that very moment, I understood that I had always been poor, even when I had lots of money. I was poor morally and spiritually. But Jesus was rich in every way. But instead of keeping these riches to himself, he left heaven to become a humble servant and gave up himself on the cross to cleanse me from my love of riches and self-glory, and make a way for me to have a relationship with God and to experience the riches that flow from that relationship. This experience left me feeling as though I had been washed and cleansed and filled with new life, and it was all because of what Jesus had done on my behalf.
Wow Kavya, that is quite a story indeed. Thanks for sharing that with us here at Christian Erudition Studios. Would you like to take a moment to provide some counsel to those watching our show that might be going through similar difficulties you were facing before this encounter?
Certainly Peter Niles. I will say to your audience, if you are going through a hard time in your life, do not give up. There is darkness in this world, and there is darkness in each of us. And while this darkness is powerful, it will never be more powerful than the light. I would encourage your audience to remember that when we bring our darkness to the light, the darkness loses its power. If you are facing darkness, tell a trusted friend, but even more importantly, tell God about your darkness and ask for his light to help deliver you. Always remember these words from the Gospel of John, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it."
You've heard it best from Kavya. The darkness can never overcome the light. Thanks to you both for this good news.
Our pleasure, Peter.
Thanks for watching this segment of Newsroom. I'm your host Peter Niles, reminding you that no matter how bad things might seem, there is always good news. Good night everyone.